All right, what is going on, guys? Crypto Mackie bringing you guys another crypto video. Today we're gonna take a look at Sandbox. We can see it's had a pretty nice 24 hours, not massive, but just slowly moving up, which is always good to see, and a breakout of this descending channel, which is nice. I just want to say this is not financial advice, so please do your own research. So looking at Sand, as I said, the past 24 hours has been pretty good. From this low down here, we've come up, went up 20%, and we're currently from here up 16%, which is good. The main thing to take out of this is that we've broken out of our descending channel here. We've broken up and are now trending upwards, which is good to see. So we're now at $5.43. And as I've said, like, we've come off of this big move, and I keep saying this because I think it's really important to note. And if you're wondering why Sand had such a big pullback, well, we can see Sand went up 980%. That's nearly a 10x. And no major corrections were really seen. Especially, there was a couple here, so we can say there was this one which was 40%, and then we saw another 40% correction here. So two 40% corrections. But then from this point, we saw a 230% move, and there was no real correction. 20% and 20%, it's not massive. And now finally we've seen a big 51% correction, which is quite fine. It's significant. And I think it's enough for us to say, okay, we've had a big correction. Now we can flip and start to actually trend higher right now. I'm very bullish on Sand. I think it's such a good project. And obviously with the NFT space growing and all of that, it's just looking really good for Sand. And that's obviously helped Sand have these parabolic moves. Gonna remember, this was at the time when Bitcoin wasn't doing well. So for Sand to do that is really good to see. The other way of looking at Sand is we look at this falling wedge that has found itself in and say, okay, we haven't broken out of this yet. So this is a next ideal thing to break out of, is if we can break out the upside. This could really flip us quite bullish, and we can trend higher if we can break out of this. We can see there's two touch points up here and two on the bottom. We have a wick down, but because we went down so like steeply, we had a wick down and came back up, and we're now holding the line. So at the moment, we're still here. We haven't broken out. We need to break about $5.70. If we break out somewhere around here, $5.70, somewhere around there, break out and could trend higher. That'd be really good to see. It's definitely going to be dependent on Bitcoin. And looking at Bitcoin, well, trading 51,000 is decent considering we had this little consolidation here. And I was a bit nervous because it kind of seemed like we might be forming a bear flag coming down. So we had this consolidation period, and we've actually now gone up, which is nice to see. It would be nice to come above this big cup and handle line, this white line here. If we could come above that and test its support, that would be really nice. And again, I know you're here for Sand, but looking at Bitcoin is so important because Bitcoin tends to move the market quite a bit. So, and then the other thing to look at with Bitcoin is this line here, which dates back, the first touch point was here in March 2020. So this has been going on for quite a while, and you can see this before where we're at right now. So we're holding the line right now, but obviously we could break through and then we could say, okay, we didn't hold the line at this time. But at the moment we're holding, which is good to see, and we're actually we've actually bounced off it. So we could go higher and say this is a successful support period. But before this was three main touch points just here. So March 2020, September 2020, and then not until July 2021. So almost a whole year without that. So if we were to get pretty speculative, we could say, well, it depends when you think the market cycle is going to finish. Is important. I wouldn't be thinking late 2022 or anywhere later than that. I think by mid 2022 it'd probably be finished. But we could take something like this, take our line, and draw this out a bit further. Like this. So we can take this. This is what we're seeing happen. So after our big correction, obviously Bitcoin had a really nice run, which was 500%, and then obviously we were overvalued, come down, test this line, and we went again, broke all-time highs, and now we're coming down, test the line again. So if we get another move like this, well, this is a logarithmic chart, which is why prices can be quite high. But the two main things to look at, and obviously this is just speculation, this is not guaranteed to play out by any means. I'm not saying this is going to, but it may. This has a peak right here of 137,000 for Bitcoin, and would put the market cycle, if that was our peak, that would say the market cycle would finish in March 2022. That would mean that we come down from here, and then we break through this line and maybe enter a bear market for a length of time. And yeah, this was our market cycle peak here at 138,000 in March. 28th of March 2022 is what we're seeing from this, which is about 3 or 4 months. So we could have a good 3 or 4 months, and well, if you look at the percentage, that's a 170% move, which doesn't look like much because of how like small it is, but again, it's a logarithmic chart, so it's actually quite significant. And also it would suggest that we're having one pullback, which would be a 30% pullback, which could scare people, because people could then, if we do come up and break all-time highs again, break 70, 80, 90,000, and then we have a pullback, or people may think that's when the market cycle is going to end. No one knows when it's going to end. You can't be too deterministic on these things. Some people say it might not end, and we might not enter a bear market at all. I think it's likely that we might. Depends on mass adoption for Bitcoin. But as for Sand, I think in the short term at least, if Bitcoin does start to trend up, and this was our bottom down here at we're as low as 42,000, but this range here where we've kind of accumulated at 46,000 to 49,000. If this was our bottom for this correction, which again was a correction of 38% from the wick, and then down here 33%, pretty significant correction. And if that is the bottom, then that could be really bullish for Sand. If you start to trend up for Bitcoin starts to head to 55,000, 60k. Well, Sand could surprisingly get to all-time high levels quite quickly. And I'm also seeing this movement down. I wouldn't be surprised if we do maybe form a cup like this, get resistance around this level, come down, form a cup and handle, and then go higher. I'm looking at the probability that this could play out. This would say that Bitcoin starts to trend higher, which would help push the price of Sand. We get the cup, and then there's strong resistance at this line because, well, it's nearing all-time high levels. So we see a bit of resistance come down and then go higher, break through all-time highs, and well, then Sand can really take off from there. This may take place over, a few weeks or a couple months for that to play out. And again, it's not guaranteed by any means, but I'm simply just looking at what's playing out in the charts and what could be on the cards for Sandbox in the future. So I might leave the video there. Let me know what you think Sam will do. Please go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later, guys. Enjoy.